This video is for people who already have the Certificate of Registered Matters. If you do not have it yet, please check the previous video first. You have the Certificate of Registered Matters but do not know where to start. This video answers that question. The Certificate of Registered Matters has 3 sections. They are the Title section, Section A, Ownership Matters, and Section B, Other Rights. This video covers the Title section and Section A, Ownership Matters. Now let us check the Title section. The Title section contains basic details about the building. There are 4 things to check here. The first thing to check is the address. The address on the Certificate of Registered Matters must exactly match the address of the property you want to rent. Even one small difference in the building or unit number can be risky. You may lose your legal protection. If the address is different, your new address report, the move-in report, or the report on change of place of stay may not be processed correctly. In that case, the law that protects tenants may not apply to you. The second thing to check is the building's purpose. If the document says neighborhood living facility, this space is not legally a residence. If you use the space primarily as a home, the law that protects tenants may apply to you. However, strict legal conditions apply. Standard rental loans from banks are usually not available. Deposit insurance is usually not available either. The ways to protect your deposit are very limited. It is important to check this before signing. The third thing to check is the floor area. If the area on the document does not match the actual size of the property, the owner may have extended the building without permission. The fourth thing to check is the type of real estate. If your document says condominium building, you will see 2 title sections. One section describes the entire building. The other section describes the specific unit you are renting. It is important to check both. Apartments, office-tels, and multi-household houses are condominium buildings. This single document already contains the land information. A separate land document is unnecessary. If your document says building, the property is a multifamily house or detached housing. There is only one document for the entire building. There is no separate title section for your individual room. For multifamily houses and detached housing, there is one more important thing. The building document and the land document exist separately. The building document may look clean. However, the land document may show hidden debts or liens. It is important to check both documents. For multifamily houses and detached housing, if you select land and building when applying on the registry website, the system prints 2 documents together. One document is for the building. The other document is for the land. If the title section shows no right to site, this building has no legal right to the land it sits on. The landowner may demand usage fees. They may also create legal disputes. It is important to consult a professional before signing. If the land rights field shows a separate registration of right to site, someone else holds separate rights to the land under this building. The building document may look clean, but the land may have debts. It is important to consult a professional before you decide to sign. The second step is to check Section A, Ownership Matters. Section A, Ownership Matters, contains information about ownership rights. The first thing to check here is the current owner. Section A, Ownership Matters, lists the ownership history in numerical order. The person recorded at the last registration number is the current owner of the property. If the owner name on the document does not match the name of the person you are signing with, it is important to consult a professional before signing. If the person claims to be an agent, it is important to check the power of attorney and the certificate of seal imprint. Provisional seizure means the owner owes money to someone. A court places a temporary freeze on this property. If you sign a contract for this property, you may share equal priority with the creditor. If the court auctions this property later, you may not get your full deposit back. It is important to consult a professional before signing. Seizure is more serious than provisional seizure. Provisional seizure is a temporary freeze. Seizure is the next stage. The court has started the process to auction the property. It is important to consult a professional before signing. If the document shows a ruling to commence auction, the court has already started the auction process for this property. It is important to consult a professional before signing. A provisional disposition means there is a legal dispute over the ownership of this property. The court has prohibited the owner from transferring the property until the dispute ends. If you sign a contract after the provisional disposition, the new owner may not recognize your tenant rights. You may have to leave the house. You may not get your deposit back. it is important to consult a professional before signing. A provisional registration is a reserved right to take ownership in the future. If you sign a contract after this registration, you take on serious risk. When the provisional registration becomes a principal registration, the new owner may not recognize your tenant rights. You may have to leave the house. You may not get your deposit back. It is important to consult a professional before signing. If Section A, Ownership Matters, shows a trust registration, the actual ownership belongs to a trust company. If you sign a contract with the original owner without the trust company's consent, you take on serious risk. You may not get your deposit back. It is important to consult a professional before signing. If you sign a contract without the trust company's consent, it may become very difficult to get your deposit back. The original owner does not have legal ownership. The trust company did not agree to the contract. The trust company is unlikely to take responsibility. If Section A, Ownership Matters, shows a trust registration, it is important to check the trust ledger. The previous video explains how to check this document. In Section A, Ownership Matters, an item with a red strike-through line is already resolved. It is no longer valid. Items without a red line are currently in effect. If Section A, Ownership Matters, shows a supplementary registration for a private housing rental business operator, this is different from warning signs. It means this property has legal obligations to protect tenants. However, before signing, it is important to confirm that the owner has deposit insurance. It is also important to verify that the insurance covers the full amount of your deposit. This video provides general guidance on reviewing the title section and Section A, Ownership Matters. Depending on your situation, there may be additional items to check beyond what is covered in this video. You have finished checking the title section and Section A, Ownership Matters. Section B, Other Rights, still remains. The next video covers how to check the owner's debts in Section B, Other Rights. It also covers the hidden risks in multifamily houses and the tricks that scammers use.